Sounds like I have some audio now, and I need to turn it down. Well, this has been an interesting trip down frustration lane. Okay, well, let's get started with some new additions to the library. So, things that have come in have all been Kickstarter items. So, we'll start off with the very first one, the Swords and Wizardry book. So this is, I'll read their words for it, because I think they put it well. In 1974, Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson wrote the world's first fantasy role-playing game, a simple, very flexible set of rules that launched an entirely new genre of gaming. In 1975, the first supplement of these rules was published with Rob Kuntz as Mr. Gygax's co-author. Along with the other three supplements, we call these rules the original game. What you're reading is an unofficial, restarted version rules of the original game, created using material that the Wizards of the Coast made available through the Creative Commons license. It's not exact reproduction, mainly for legal reasons, but in the 1970s, no group of gamers played precisely the same version of the original game anyways. The 1970s was a decade of freaky improvisation, weird fantasy, and rebellion. And that's what Swords and Wizardry, if that's how you roll, will rest, while all the rest is just in the details. So, I think it's really cool. They are legit restarting D&D 0 with this. When they other projects, the OSR is more first and second ed based. This is definitely more zero edition based. But the cool thing is they have more than just you had 3 races and 3 classes. So you could be a fighting man, a thief, and a magic user. Whereas, and you could be a dwarf, a halfling, and an elf. So you had 6 choices. Well, in this, you've got a lot more. So you can be assassin, cleric, druid, fighter, magic user, monk, paladin, ranger, thief, and then choose your alignment. And give some examples of weapons and armor. So I've gone through this. It is actually really nice and clean and laid out well, because that was actually one of the big issues with Zero Edition. It was not laid out well. You had to have chainmail to be able to do combat, all kinds of stuff. It was pretty bonkers, but it did get better. And then when first edition came out, it was still poorly organized. But nobody knew what they were doing. I will have to say many other companies did a better job of organizing than early TSR. Many companies. So the next that came in was stuff from Palladium. So Palladium had a Kickstarter that I backed. You can they still do mail order orders, so you can fill out an order. And with the it was the Titan Robotics, so nice Titan Robotics source book signed by many of the creators. And I know this was the limited run cover. They didn't put in here how many were made, though. A lot of times they'll do that. But so got the Rift, the Titan Robotics Rift source book, and the Cyberworks collection, which, if you've not explored the Rifts world, you should absolutely explore the Rifts world. Super cool. Really well made. Palladium actually puts together some really nice books. Really well bound and everything. Oh, and that's something I forgot to point out on the Sword and Sword and Wizardry was printed in the United States. So many companies are printing in China still, and having worked with companies that are doing things in China, it just adds so much time. This Kickstarter closed not too long ago. It's not the fastest RPG Kickstarter ever gotten, but it's up there. It was very quick, especially for the quality of book. They were mostly done when they went to Kickstarter, and then the looks like we have a Twitch ad. Well, for those viewing on other channels, we will just chat. Let's see. So I like to see companies that are starting to use US printers again, mostly because your turnaround can be so much faster and you can print in much smaller batches. So if you're using a Chinese printer still, you send all your files digitally, but then they send you a book that takes your first proof, and it takes a while for it to get here, or to get to the States, or get to Europe, and then you're waiting on that. And if there's any errors, you've got to wait for it to come. Request those changes, wait for a new one. Whereas if it's done in the U.S., I mean, you can get the files to a printer, and some of those printers can get you a book within 48 hours in your hands, which is mind-boggling. Then you can go, hey, love this. Let's hit the first print. And many of the publishers, many of the printers here in the U.S., you can print smaller batches. So instead of having to buy 5,000 copies of something from your Chinese manufacturer to get to a price point that they're willing to work with you on, you can order, a batch of 800 or 1,000 or less. Some small publishers will do far less than that. So also that came with the Rifts is a bunch of awesome prints of different awesome cyberware stuff from the Rifts world. And a deck of cards, which I haven't looked at yet. I don't know what's in here. Oh, it looks like it's a deck of cards. It is a deck of cards where all the art on the King, Queen, Jack, and Aces are cyberware stuff. Super cool. I love the art. And then two cool Jokers. Wow, the Jokers are... Yeah, Jokers are pretty. Look at those. Those look nice. And what just came in today, we got the library back. This one is the stuff for Dragonbane. So here's the dragon. There's a print of the cover. Then the Game Master screen. So it is a low profile trifold. They're getting a lot of use out of that art. then, oh, the box set itself. Ooh, look, snack packs, dice. Ooh, standees, treasure cards and adventure cards. Not going to open those yet because you haven't played the game, so we don't know what they're for. Standees are for, looks like orcs and goblins and trolls and dragons and giant speeders. Some more awesome stuff. God, the art that they always choose, so good. Oh, look at this. So, some nice blank character sheets. A bunch of really nice pre-made characters. So, the character sheets are the same front and back, the blank ones, but on the, so this is Archmaster Odhan, and then on the back is a picture of Archmaster Odhan and some information about him. So you have pre-made characters, some paper maps, just generic areas. A world map. Oh! Special thanks to our top backers. Oh, I wonder if we can find ourselves in there. I will actually have to look at this. That's a lot of people in there. I will look at this. Well, it is the starter box, but it is also the base. It's not like a standard starter box. So it's a standard starter box where your books are everything you need. So there's the Dragonbane rules. Is that not the most awesome looking Darkwing Duck you've ever seen? But these are your actual rules and adventure guide. So it's more than just a starter box. Thought we also got a hardcover book. I will have to go check Kickstarter and see what we were supposed to get. Because I thought we backed them at the level that got all this and a book and a standard hard. But it's not like Free League isn't going to be willing to give us a book. Free League's been awesome to the library. They have they've been awesome with the library and given us basically a copy of everything that they've ever made. Also came with it was awesome cloth map. I love these cloth maps because you can hang them up as a tapestry or you can actually use them on the table. Okay, let's get into some news. So, WotC announced that they're going to be releasing Planescape. Looks like they're going to be doing a very similar release as the way they did Spelljammer. Spelljammer did not get good reviews because it felt like a rushed project. Got to bring that map to events. I would use it. Sometimes we do. Maybe this one will make it into our stuff for people to use. It is a good sized map. Our lawn is getting water too. Is it raining out? It was trying to rain earlier. Hey, thanks for resubscribing. So. Yeah, WotC is Planescape. It's going to be, you can pre-order now. It's going to be released in October. They've got their standard and the limited run cover. I liked Planescape, but I've also been sorely disappointed with many of the WotC products that have been coming out the last few iterations. The books are not bound well. A lot of them feel really rushed, especially the Spelljammer one. I mean, all the ships go the same speed. In the section for ship combat, they're like, "Oh, yep, you could just get close and you can just board their ship." And it's like, well, that's not what I want. Yeah. Bill Chew says, I agree. Planescape looks like Spelljammer, nostalgia cash grab, no substance. And it's packaged the same way. It has that same feel. 3 small books that are just tiny. And it sucks because Plane Chase all of the worlds that they created in the 80s and 90s are massive, and they could do some really cool stuff. That could be one book, not 3 and there'll be a lot of repeated stuff in there. Frustrating. Let's see. Update from Paizo president Jim Butler. It's been a little over a year since I took the helms of Paizo as president. Not me, Jim. And I wanted to give everyone a look behind the scenes of what's happening during that time, and as well as provide a look ahead. So, this is actually really nice that Paizo has been fairly good with fans, and you get something like this where the president of the company is like, "Oh, hey, let me sit down for a state of the company address to everybody." Talks about union stuff with their workers, Rise of Orc, which I'm actually very happy with the Orc license. I think it's pretty nice. Talks about stuff that's going on, new technology. So, and on the new technology forum, they're partnering with different types of virtual and AI augmented reality tabletop stuff, and this is really cool. I like it when a company is willing to put, hey, what are we doing? What's been going on, for this last year? And especially when it is such a fan-based company. They're very dependent upon the people that buy their product. It's not like buying potato chips. Nobody cares what happened with Frito-Lay this last year. Just as long as you can get your Frito pie at the corner store, right? Nobody knows what a Frito pie is. So when a company like this is willing to sit down with the president and put out a cool statement on a year, this is really cool, and I really hope they keep doing it. I'd like to see other companies do the same. Let's see, this is actually super cool. Popular Japanese RPG Fledge Witch, inspired by Kiki's Delivery Service and Little Witch Academia, will see an English release. Somebody asked, has anyone run the Pathfinder card game at any of events in the past? It could be an easy starter game. No, but I don't know much about the Pathfinder card game, so it's nothing that I've ever looked into. If somebody wants to hit me up and talk about that, might be something that we can do in the future. Yeah, and Pulsar says he's not sure what to think of Mirrorscape. Mirrorscape it's intriguing. I'm not 100% behind Mirrorscape, but if it's a cool way to get other people playing, I'm okay with it. I think having tablets and everything at the table could be more distracting. But at least with Mirrorscape, you're more interactive with your device and the game than you are with like D&D Beyond, where you just have your tab open and you just tab over to another thing and sending each other messages or doing whatever. So yeah, I'm excited anytime we can get. There's a lot of really awesome Japanese RPGs that have never made it to the U.S. shores. So when there's a one like this that says, hey, we're going to translate it to English and bring it over to America, that makes me super happy. Okay, news was a little short. Let's get into some the crowdfunding stuff. First up, this one made me giggle. I guess that's right because it's from the Laughing Rogue. It's the Welcome to Slaughterville. Slaughterville RPG. Dive into a fun world of horror. Slaughterville uses the Year Zero engine to bring a world of fun and horror. People like to try to call me while I do this. Of the horror from the board game to the role-playing world. So I loved this because, one, the name made me laugh, but two, it's using the Year Zero engine. So the Year Zero engine is the core engine for most Free League stuff, not Dragonbane. Dragonbane uses its own system. So if I didn't really explain Dragonbane much from Free League, Dragonbane, when RPGs kicked off, Dragonbane is what started in Sweden when they didn't get D&D. And it has been going for quite a number of years. Free League got the rights to it a couple years ago and started developing this most recent edition that they just released. Shadows of Brimstone. That one doesn't sound familiar. Shadows of... Oh, I hadn't seen this one. See, that's one of the things that sucks is that if things don't get shared with me, when I go searching through things like Kickstarter, this has never ever come up in any of my searches for a role-playing game. Cooperative dungeon crawl board games. Interesting. Oh, it's from Flying Frog. Okay, that's probably why it hasn't popped up. Because it is more of a board game than an RPG. I think it is even listed under board games, not RPGs. But yeah, Flying Frogs, just up the road from us, and they were looking for 100,000. They're over $1 million now, but they tend to do well. They're kind of that interesting size company where they're still small enough that doing Kickstarters and stuff I'm cool with, but they get too much bigger and we say, hey, just publish your own games. Okay. Let's see. Risen Ashes RPG, the zombie apocalypse game. There's no hope. This is your story, the story of how you died. It's coming out of Guadalajara, Mexico, which is I love seeing RPGs coming out of Mexico, Central America, South America, just because there's not much outside of once you hit that border, most of the Spanish-speaking nations in Central and South America don't really get into RPGs. Brazil is an entirely different story, and they speak Portuguese there. Let's see. So they were only looking for $147. They're at $634. Welcome to Arisen Ashes, a role-playing system that immerses you in a post-apocalyptic world full of challenges and survival. Explore a devastated setting plagued by zombie infection that make crucial decisions and fight for your life in a hostile environment with a gameplay system based on choice and consequences. Risen Ashes offers an immersive and thrilling experience as you face deadly dangers and make decisions that will shape your fate. Do you have what it takes to rise from the ashes and survive? So, looks like they have pretty good art. I like their character sheet. Zombie at the bottom. And does look like they're fairly far along. And this is their second game created, and they've backed a bunch. So, $12 gets you the PDF in early bird. $17 gets you the PDF, not an early bird. Get 3 copies of the PDF. Let's see. You get the three PDFs: the core rulebook, the advanced rulebook, and the Redemption Archipelago. That is $40. $46 not in the early. They've got one of their 6 PDFs early bird left. And that's it. Everything is PDF. Yeah, Flying Frog is very local. They even have their own little event. They have a small con every year, if I recall correctly. Let's see. Friend of the library, Chris Shepperson. His game is closing out here in 15 hours. This is Rectify, a solo horror RPG. We were supposed to talk to him yesterday, but schedules didn't work out, and we're going to try to talk to him here in the future. But it's hilarious because he's shown the ability to design basically any type of game. His previous game to this was Kendo Koala, which was cute and fun. Then prior to that was Gaia Complex. Prior to that was Slay Industries, and he works on stuff at Modiphius as well. So, I mean, and I do know that this game is done. So it's not like you'll be waiting. I think all that he's got to do is Rectify is a 32-page softcover book printed on fully recycled silk paper. The book features gorgeously macabre artwork from Analbus Design, portraying the 5 trials of hell that each character must go through. So, and then he also has a hardback edition. So, $8 gets you the PDF, $21 gets you the PDF and the print journal, $37 gets you the hardback and the PDF, and that's it. Those are your 3 options. So £28 for the collector's edition hardback, £16 for the journal, and £6 if you just want the PDF. Terminal A digital pirate action RPG. To me, that sounds like it's a cyberpunk-esque game. They are just over their goal. They got 25 days to go. And this is their first created Terminal digital pirate action. Wait, hang on. I guess in the Matrix-esque world that you go into, you can fight in these crazy battleships. Oh my god, this makes me think of the movie Hackers. Rabbit, bug. Virus. This is a digital pirate action tabletop RPG written by Kyla Dice, and a list of other games from Kyla, illustrated by Gormangeist, and edited by Alyssa Ridley. The physical format will be a softcover A4, so small style book. It's a hack of Inevitable by Soul Muppet Publishing, which I don't know that game, built on a focus system to tell exciting and epic stories of grave consequence. In this game, your swashbuckling cyberpunk misfit heroes sail the perilous seas, clash swords with killer robots, brawl with dangerous programs inside cyberspace, and face off the manipulative architects of the living nightmare that is the Terminal. This makes me think of... So Terminal's inspirations: Matrix, Black Sails, Paprika, Twin Peaks, and Please Baby Please. I think they should have thrown Tron in there. Interesting. So for $20, you can get the digital copy of it. $39, you can get a PDF and a physical copy. $52, you get the physical copy, the GM screen, PDF copy, and updates of the project. Well, I hope you get updates. $129, you get all of that. You get the PDF, the physical copy, and your name in the book. It's a neat idea. I don't know the game that they're basing it off of. Wasted Lands, 58 hours to go. So they're a long ways from their goal. But this is also the time frame when some Pirate Bay is infamous in all parts of the internet. Darker parts of the internet. You can go to Pirate Bay still. I remember using Pirate Bay. Let's see. They were looking for 18,000. They're at 10. They're $7,500 shy at the moment. But it's amazing how many things will actually fund in the last 48. So, this is a system that he's done other stuff in. So we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and the complete rules of the game, powered by ogres or powered by orcs as you choose. Guidelines for conversion to a variety of unified mechanics, high roll percentile, and dice pools. You have to. I think everyone's going to know what Pirate Bay is for the next 20 years. Let's see, the Kobold Cookbook. New magic items, poisons, traps for D&D 5e and Pathfinder, plus real-life recipes for you at your tabletop. 5 days to go. They're well over double what they were looking for. This is out of St. George, Utah. And I love this for two reasons. One, it adds new things for people to use in the game, and it has recipes. So if you want, you can make some fun stuff for your gamers that are coming over. Bahamut burgers, shadow seed cake, cinnamon snares, and more. This is adorable. I think the library needs to create a cookbook. That's just because I like to cook. Nightmare over Ragged Hollow, a bloody good start in adventurous life for OSE and all BX looks-alikes. 8 days to go. This is by Knock. So they've done a ton of a ton of really good stuff through that line. And anything that's being put out by the group behind Knock is always something cool. So $14 gets you the booklet and screen and PDF. I think in PDF. $25 gets you the booklet and screen PDF and 80-page booklet and four fold screen in print. £45 gets you the same thing. Oh, but twice. Same as above, but twice. So you get 2 copies of everything. And like I said, they tend to put out really good stuff. We've got some of their Knock magazines. They've been the group that was behind Black Sword Hack, all kinds of stuff. So definitely worth looking into if you are into OSE type stuff. And this one we've talked about a couple times. Tome of Intriguing Options. This is from a group called Bash, and we will be speaking with one of the designers tomorrow. So they were only looking for 1,000. They're at 5. Hopefully in the next week they can get more. And I have not played the Honor and Intrigue system, but I do want to play it, and I want to look into it. And we're going to have a chat with one of the designers tomorrow. So hopefully we can get some a better look into what's going on. And oh, that's cool. It's very anime of Western design. Ooh, he's got a plasma sword. Or a photon cutlass. Let's see. Get into some stuff from BackerKit. 500-year vampire. 500-year-old vampire. A multiplayer keepsake RPG. So this is from Central Michigan University Press. 500-year-old vampire by designer Jason Cox and artist Jarby Weathers is a multiplayer keepsake role-playing game that adapts the award-winning 1,000-year-old vampire by Tim Hutchins to a new collaborative play experience suitable for both fans of 1,000-year-old vampire and students in an educational setting. As in 1,000-year-old vampire, you play in 500-year-old vampire, progress semi-randomly through prompts answered with writings from the vampire's perspective. But 500-year-old vampire includes player-created artifacts and rules for multiplayer vampire cohorts. Interesting. I've never played 1,000-year-old vampire, and I'll have to reach out to the people behind this because it does look kind of neat. Shadowdark character cards, designed to be used with the Shadowdark RPG, which that just closed and was a huge success. It was well over 1 million, if I recall correctly. So this is a poker-sized card deck of 48 pre-generated first-level Shadowdark character cards. The front side has full-color character art and a quick biography, and the back is the statistics and equipment. Shadowdark RPG is an old-school RPG similar to D&D Basic, using D&D 5e modern streamlined design. So it's just a deck of character cards, which is cool. I like having stuff like that. You can just kind of pass things out, get players going. They start with the card, and then they during the session they transfer it over to paper and grow. And you know, if Shadowdark is deadly, then you pass out a couple cards to everybody. Humble Bundle still has for 9 more days their classic sword and sorcery tabletop RPG set. So it's $65, but you get the Monstrosities book physical, then you get 54 other great books, and for a variety of stuff. Stuff for the city excursions, or the off the beaten path game, stuff for sword and sorcery, stuff for what is it? D20 and Savage Worlds, and a lot of this comes from. I mean, there's a variety of publishers, but there's a bunch from Frog God, which is over in Poulsbo area, so not far from here. You're gonna find that often. There's a lot of role-playing game companies in this area. There's more tabletop companies here than like the rest of the United States combined. It's bonkers. The original D20 system. So, Tomb of Horrors for D20. Not 4. So 4E is not D20. So D20 was the core underlying system of D&D 3 and 3.5. So that's when somebody says D20, that's typically what they're referring to. And then I don't think anybody makes anything based on 4th edition, which is a shame because it's not that bad of a system. But ton of stuff. It's available for 9 more days, so we'll highlight it again next week. It's the only gaming stuff on books on Humble Bundle right now. And then over to Bundle of Holding. So Bundle of Holding, we got for another 48 minutes. If you want to buy the Worldographer, it is a piece of software that lets you build out hex crawls, hex maps with ease. And so $30 gets you three keys. So you can use one for yourself and 2 for your friends. And if you go up to 42-ish bucks, you also get 11 hex map icons. So tons of icons that you can use for your maps. And that it'll be out in 48 minutes. Let's see. Somebody actually donated. So I love it when this happens. When we set the library up, we're up and running, and I come in the next morning and there's a new book on the shelves. And the base book for the Index Card RPG showed up at SummerCon. Nobody that was working it knows anything about it. They don't know where it came from. So I'm excited that we got it. So this is the Index Card RPG set. So for $10, you get the Index Card RPG 2nd edition rules, the Worlds book, and the Heroes of the Hammer book. So 44 Index Card RPG pre-generated characters. And then Index Card RPG adventures, maps, monsters, lore, equipment, and dungeons. And then if you go up to a little over $20, you get 2 Thaumavior adventures, Age of Snakes, and the Turnip Knights. You get 4 index card settings. Vigilante City, which that setting has been done in there's another open system that did vigilante system, and I can't think of it. Xeno Dead Zone, Blood and Snow, and Bearcats. Then you get Altered State, the cyberpunk supplement you were looking for. It's not the cyberpunk supplement you were looking for. And the world map poster rack. How many decks make up a character deck? I don't know. So we've got the book. I haven't even looked at it yet. Been busy, so I'm probably going to run over this week and see if I can pick it up and start going through it. But love the idea of this. It's funny because the core rulebook is in physical format is constantly sold out. Let's see. Hyper cooperative. So $15. The Hydra collection is $15. So you get Slumbering Ursine Dunes, Slavic mythology, and soldier bears. Oh, that just sounds cool. Fever Dreaming Marlinko, because slumbering Ursine Dunes wasn't weird enough. Mystery Isles of Eld. If Frank L. Baum, or if L. Frank Baum and William Burroughs had created a setting over a weekend of drink and drugs. What Ho, Frog Demons. Acid Fantasy Adventures in the Greater Marlinko. Hill Canton's Compendium 2. New classes, life path tables, and robo-dwarves. You had me at robo-dwarves. Strange star rules and setting. Transhuman adventure across starry frontiers. Weird adventures and strange tales. High fantasy meets two-fisted pulp era thrills. Ooh, love the pulp era. Mort Zangenderstrom. Survive the magic mansion of the Mad Manticore Wizard. Long Song of the Bachelor. Tragedy, a blood curse, a love gone sour, and a giant crocodile. You lost me at giant crocodile. This is the Hydra Cooperative Quick Deal, gathers tabletop role-playing supplements and modules designed by the talented creators at the Hydra Cooperative Publishing Alliance, drawn from early bundle holding offers 2015 to 2020. The intensive and strikingly packaged titles show graphic inspirations ranging from Art Nouveau to pulp magazines to Atari game cartridges to Gold Key comics. And the modules themselves are just as flavorful. Face of Zombostrom during the Yambor Soldier Bear pilgrimage across the slumbering Ursine Dunes. Dodge mile-long grubs and the bone grinders outside the biotransformation vat complex of the Eld. Visit the prismatic peak of Mount Gigaw in search of the Wim Wham Stone. Run scams and con games with Frankiestek and the Checkered Mage, or Jarek. Jeez, these names are killing me. Oh. So what is this for? Are these just generic adventures? I'm far more intrigued now than I must know more. Okay, Root. This has 7 days left on it. We have gone over the Root game a few times, so $15 gets you the basic Root book and Travelers to the Outside, and the Root clearing booklet, plus 4 quick start sets. So if you like Root and you want a spot to start, bam. Yes, the Strange Stars is definitely is definitely an Atari 2600-esque cartridge. If anybody else didn't see it. Bam. Oh, this is for OSR. Okay. This one says it's for OSR. But yes, that is very Atari 2600. And Legendary Beginnings. All ages 5e tabletop fantasy role-playing from Legendary. Hey, yeah, we know the Legendary people. So, $15 gets you Tales of the Apprentice. They donated a copy of this to the library a while back. A Feast of Flavor. Into the Feywild. Crisis at the Falling Spring Station. So, Legendary makes some pretty cool supplements for different game settings, or for different game systems. This one happens to be 5e, and they, like I said, they actually do really good stuff. So you can start a good 5e game and delve deep into that. There's some really cool stuff here. So Root, a lot of people love that. It's a great way to get started with Root. Legendary is a good company, so you get some good stuff there. The Hydra Collective, I really want to dig this stuff up because this is nutsoid. See if this takes us to their... Oh, this takes us to their all their PDFs. Oh, they have a bunch of stuff. I'm going to have to reach out to these people. And then, of course, the Index RPG. Love the idea behind this. I need to sit down and learn it. And then 40 minutes left on the World of Graph-Room. So it was a little bit short this week. We didn't go as long as we normally do. But we got some awesome stuff in. We've got the Dragonbane stuff. We got the Sword and Wizardry and the new Rift stuff. I'm excited about it all. And I want to thank you all for tuning in. And, well, that is all for this week. The library is now closed.